lived a short life. Hopefully you understand that that blesses our life. He lived a short life so we could live a long life, but his life would have been shorter if he didn't have to fulfill the law, but he came because he needed to fulfill the law, and so that's why he lived the time that he did. Now, tonight we want to go into, and I wrote your questions down, those of you that have written me. Let's see, Minister Eva Williams. Hey, woman of God, blessings to you. All right, when friends no longer want to be around you and you are by yourself, that's that all alone question. And I think I'm pretty sure I can relate to it, that's for sure. And you know what? A whole lot of people who have surrendered their life. See, a submitted life is an all-one life. It's a oneness life. I remember we taught about alone, the word alone, that if you put a little hyphen between the A and the L, you're going to get all one. And we wanted you to understand that that's a level of temptation, and that covers a massive areas. Do you have enough faith for certain areas? Because you will be tested to see. All right, and then number 2 is John 14. That's with Jesus and the disciples on the Sea of Galilee. It was a storm. When storms come, okay, are you able to maintain, your integrity, your character in the midst of a storm? All right, and then of course Matthew in Gethsemane, Jesus, the suffering and what he knew was getting ready to come. He was tempted. Lord, let this cup pass from me. All right, but not my will, thy will be done. That's the testing of your will. Can you yield your will to the will of God? Okay. The British Air Ministry initiated a register of carrier pigeons. Why? Because they were so valuable. They sought to destroy the peregrine falcons, because peregrine falcons were predators of these, carrier pigeons. And so they got rid of most of those falcons just to protect this little pigeon because he was so valuable, especially during wartime. And he was able to take messages back and forth, and they literally were able to defeat the enemy, just to show how effective this particular bird was. There's also the Mannix shearwater. Fact is, they can be taken hundreds of miles from home and still find their way back in record time. One was released over 240 miles away from his home, and he was found back in 7 hours, which was about 3,000 miles across the Atlantic. In 12 days, he was back flying right back in his homeland by instinct. And this was taking him, and literally where he had no clue where he was. Instinct laws, or the law of divine instinct. In other words, I must be where I am most productive. That's what the law of instinct says. The law of instinct says inside you is a mechanism that will place you where you are most productive. You know it, you sense it. See, we will literally choose against it because we don't like opposition. We don't like challenges, and we don't like change. Okay? Now, we can know it, but that doesn't matter. And a lot of times we need to realize just because you know something doesn't mean you're going to do it. Okay? And so